So funny thing happened to me on the way to work yesterday. We had a big ice storm here. So I cleared all the ice away from my wipers, made sure they were free, nothing was blocking them. And then halfway to work, my passenger side windshield wiper stopped working. So in this video, we're going to show you how to remove the wiper transmission and how to replace it. So I think there's an arm under there that either popped off of the little bushing that's in there, or it may be bad. I've got to get in there, take a look at it to see what's going on. But if you need to replace yours, this should cover a 2009 to a 2014 Expedition, and may even go beyond that to the newer Expeditions, or you might be able to even apply what I show you, the basic steps taken in this video, to like the newer trucks. So I'm going to dive into this and show you what's needed to remove the cowl, the plastic cowl that helps to protect it, and how to get in there and remove it. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the negative post off of the battery, so that whenever you're working on anything electrical, it's always a good idea to disconnect the battery. So that's what we're going to do first. So then you want to take these covers off of the wiper arms so that you can access the nut that's underneath them. There's one on this side, there's one on the passenger side as well. Take that one off the passenger side. So then you're going to need a 15mm socket to remove the wiper arms. They should break free pretty easily. And to make sure when you take the wiper arms off, you keep them on the side they came off of, like put the driver's side over on the driver's side. Take the passenger side off, make sure it's over by the passenger side so you don't get it mixed up. Also remove the 15mm nut off the passenger side wiper arm. So when you get to this point, these wiper arms can be a little bit of a pain to get off. They tend to seize on there a little bit, but I'll show you what to do. So usually when you go to lift these off, they can be kind of seized in place a little bit. So if you wiggle them around a little bit, I'll lift the wiper arm up and gently push down, you can usually get them to break free. It's usually enough to break them free from the stud, and you should be able to lift them right off. So now once you're done messing with the wiper arms, you should be able to take that plastic cover off. So on the side of the cowl, you'll see like a last plastic push pin. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get like a trim removal tool like this one. They come in handy. It's a good thing to use to have in your toolbox. You're going to want to slip it under this plastic retainer and pry up. Now what these tools do, it's almost like a screwdriver. It has a fork at the end, so it'll apply even pressure to a plastic retainer like this, so there's less of a chance of it breaking on you. If you use a screwdriver, you're willing to risk breaking it in half a little bit easier than you would by using this tool. I bought this one at Advanced Auto today before doing the video, and it was like 10 bucks. It wasn't that bad. Let's take that little retainer out. So if you come around the passenger side, there's another one of those plastic retainers. Let's pry up on that. Take it out. So to remove the plastic cowl on this side, there's a couple clips under here. So you need to pry up and out. And there are a couple of clips holding this down. You gotta be careful so you don't break them. So you wanna kind of put your hand under there, lift up. They should kind of pop out of place for you. If you happen to break a couple, you might want to look in the help section of your local auto parts store, or Ford can definitely get them for you. This shouldn't be too much money. I've got to order a couple. There was one that was broke over here, I think. So I've got to replace that one. But don't fret, you know, it's something that you can replace. They're inexpensive. On this side, you've got to pretty much do the same thing. Pry up on these clips. You're going to want to get your trim tool in here. Pop up on that. Go. Same thing down in this corner. So before you remove the windshield wiper transmission, you have to disconnect the wiper motor. There's a little clip right here. You slide it to the left, you press down a little bit, and it should easily wiggle right off for you. So to remove the wiper transmission itself, there are 3 bolts holding it on, and they're 5/16 socket. It's a 5/16 socket that you're gonna need. There's one here. There's one right there at the base of the wiper motor, and there's one right over there. So we're gonna remove these. This crack loose pretty easily. Well, they did in my truck anyway. There's a whole lot of wrestling around with them. Right? Okay, so when you get to the point where you need to remove the transmission, this strut more likely is going to be in your way. There's a little clip at the top right here. You can put like a little tiny screwdriver underneath. This is probably the retaining clip right there. It should come up pretty easily. Make sure it's back in place. Set it aside. Make sure you keep the hood propped up. But like I use the broomstick that I have in the shop here. So now you have a little more room. What I also found is that when we were taking these off, my windshield wipers were in the park position. So the linkage was going underneath the metal here around the firewall area. So I plugged the wiper back in real quick, and I brought the wiper arms into the up position, so it gave me more room to sneak out the transmission so that this linkage isn't in your way. It gives you a lot more room, and I should be able to get it out fairly easy. Let's get this thing out of here. Rotate it into a position where I can lift it up and out. Might need to mess and rotate and twist. So this is what happened to mine. Something got jammed under there, I think, and broke off the ball on this side. So I'm gonna see if it's a salvageable at all. I don't think, it might not be. Here's a close-up of mine. It looks like this end just became worn out and fell off. I tried pressing it back in, and it's not holding, so I'm thinking that the insides just kind of got worn out. And on some of the earlier Expeditions and the Ford trucks, you can find they're made a little bit different, where the bushing presses into the linkage arm, and they're serviceable. So far, I searched all over the internet, and I haven't found a serviceable end for these. So it looks like I'm have to buy a new wiper arm linkage assembly transmission. I did go to the Ford dealership, and my cost on it was $159 for the whole assembly, and it does come with the new wiper motor. If you have to order one on like the 08 to like 2014 Ford Expeditions, it should be that entire year range. They're gonna ask you if you have the rain sensing wipers or not, because they are specific. My truck does have the rain sensing wipers, so that's what I have to get the wiper transmission for. Okay, got it. So to get the wiper transmission back in place, it's a little bit of a Rubik's Cube getting a full assembly in here. And, my friend Brian's helping me out. So you're gonna want to release the struts on the hood. You might need to have somebody help you out, bring the hood all the way back. And it's a game of millimeters.
This is the angle of approach that you want. And you want to just try to ride it right under the windshield as deep as you can. And then as soon as you get the clearance to move and rotate, you want to rotate the wiper arm up and then lift the center position.
There you go.
And drop it down into place.
And we have the wiper motor. We had to put it in the upright position to get the clearance on the linkage. And then we hooked the wiper motor up, put it in the park position, because you're gonna need the clearance over on the other end of the cowl to get the linkage under it. So you gotta finagle the thing, right?
Wrong. It was shipped in the centered position,
Yeah.
which is what you need to put it in.
Right.
We tried it in the parked position thinking it might help, but it didn't. Having it as shipped, which would leave the windshield wiper motor and linkage as if the windshield wipers are upright on the windshield, is the right way to put the transmission and motor in.
Yes. So actually, you are correct that we should have messed with it coming out of the box.
Correct.
So
We are correctly incorrect.
that's the way to get it in there. And we tried a few different ways, and that was the way we were able to. It's this end right there. That ear hangs you up when you're trying to worm the thing in there.
So the biggest tip is once you get this through, which you need to do with that bracket below the cowling piece, you need to get this up through and then pull back and twist it up into place. So it's a twist, rotate, pull back, and then lift up on top.
So make sure you reconnect your wiper harness. Push this little locking tab in. That'll help prevent the harness from coming loose. So now what we have to do is put the negative battery cable back on the battery, go into the truck, and you're going to have to set the transmission to the park position. So just turn your wipers off and on. Then that way the linkage assembly would be in the park position, and when you go to put your windshield wipers back on, it'll be in the correct position. You're going to put them back on at the bottom of the windshield. So I'm going to do that right now. And let's put the rest of the plastic cowl on. So now you're all set to put the push pins back into place. All right, you're at the point now where you can put your wipers back on. Let's put it back on the stud, lower it down. Then put your nuts back on the wiper arm. Reach over the hood of this truck is a little ways. So start them by hand. You don't want to cross thread them. Like that. Okay. And then go over to the driver's side. That one should be all set. Now don't forget your trim covers. Just a couple of those bolts will help to keep the rain, salt, sleet out, and all the road elements, so it's important to put those back on. Plus it looks a whole lot better. Down like that, they just kind of snap into place. You're all set. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It'll help me out a ton. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss any of the great uploads we have coming up. Ring the bell when you do. You'll get a notification when I upload a new video. And if you have a question, leave a comment. I will reply back to you, or one of our viewers will. Thanks for watching, guys.